All right, YouTube, we got to fix the wheel bearings on the 4Runner. So I got a wheel bearing replacement from TRQ right down there. And we're gonna go ahead and replace both wheel bearings on the front. It shakes a little bit. It's a pretty simple process, but there are a couple steps to it. So I'll just go ahead and show you guys real quick, and then we'll get into the rest of the build for the 4Runner. But as you can see, the interior with the seats and the carpet, as well as the floor mats, are all done. And I'll show you guys a couple other things. So this is the kit that I got on Amazon. Comes with the entire assembly, and got to remove that wheel and take out the old one by removing these bolts, which are 17 millimeter, as well as removing this cap so that way the axle can go through. All right, so this is the kit that I got from TRQ. As you can see, my vehicle is front wheel drive, so there's no axle that comes through here. It's just closed off. But as you can see, this is heavily rusted, and I believe it's just never been changed after almost 300,000 miles of sitting on a car. It vibrates pretty badly, but not like super bad, but it definitely needs to be changed out. So gonna work on that. But first I got to take this wheel off, and since it's so rusted, I got a persuader right here and some rust penetrator. I'm gonna try that and an air chisel, so wish me luck, but I should be fine. All right, so after a little bit of persuasion using the persuader, I was able to get this off, and this is rusted. Not like super bad, but enough to cause this to stick on. These are coming off anyway. So since these wheels are coming off and I'm putting new ones on, I'm not too concerned about this rust on this, but I am gonna clean the rust that's on this rotor. All right, so now that we got the wheel off, next thing to remove is this caliper. So there are two bolts, this one and this one, that we just have to remove. We don't have to remove anything else because that whole assembly will just come straight off. So we'll just take it and hang it up on the suspension somewhere just to get it out of the way. And then we should be able to take this guy off. Okay, now this was also very terrible. It was rusted on pretty bad. Put a screw on here, put some rust penetrating inside of there, and I just continued to just hammer on this face with this and with this, but I finally got it off with the rubber mallet on the actual rotor on the back side, because you don't want to strike it with something steel like this. You want to use a dead blow or rubber to hit this face. This part right here, crack away. So now that I got this off and the wheel off, I'm gonna scrub this real good with a wire wheel, put some anti-seize on there, and throw my new bearing on. But first I gotta get to it. Oh, also, put this on there so that way you can catch this so it won't slam on the ground or hurt me. Because, you know, safety first. Let me see if I can get this off with one hand. Nah, I can't do it. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, home stretch. Now that I got my rotor off and I accidentally air chiseled in one of the studs, time to take these guys off. They are 17 millimeter bolts. So I'm gonna spray these real good, let them soak for a minute, and then we will continue the persuasion process since this is so badly rusted. All right, this actually wasn't too bad. I didn't even spray these or soak these or anything. So they came off just by putting this on here and then hitting it with the mallet. So just get it the rest of the way off, and then once we get these off, that's when I'm really gonna have to start hitting this with the sledgehammer. All right, so surprisingly enough, after I unscrewed all 4 of these, I was actually able to just wiggle this loose, mostly, without having to use the persuader. It's much easier with 2 hands though, so I will say that. Let me see if I can prop this up. All right, there you go. This goes on in between. It looks like there is a gasket. And this gasket mostly did its job. But there's quite a bit of rust, so I'm gonna take this gasket off. And I don't think the new one came with a gasket, because this gasket goes on the inside and this goes on the outside. So I'm gonna make sure this gasket is lubricated. I'm gonna clean this up, but I'm also gonna make sure I don't hit this sensor here, which is for my ABS system. So clean all this up, clean that up, put some anti-seize in there so that way this never happens again. And just to be sure, I am going to compare my old one with my new one, and these look to be identical. Hopefully I'll have a better driving experience with these new ones on back to factory, I hope. All right, correction to my previous statement. That gasket is supposed to be on the back of this thing, but it fell off. The new one had it on there, so got rid of all that. Got the new one on there, got these bolts tightened. Now time to do everything in reverse. Start by putting this rotor back on, but first we got to clean all this surface rust off of here and on the inside. I already threw some anti-seize on this, but I'm also going to throw anti-seize on this because, like I said, I don't want this happening again. Then we'll put the old wheel back on and clean the inside before we do that with the wire brush. It's pretty boring stuff, but once you get the concept of it, it's better to know that you can do it without having to go to the mechanic and, you know, spend a bunch of money so they can do it for you. So hopefully this helps somebody. And just like that, we're all done. Got the rotor back on there, got the tire back on there, the thread patterns match, so the bolts are on there, or the lug nuts I mean. Now I just need to do the other side, drop it to the ground, torque these all to spec, and once I torque these down, I can go for a test drive. I will say this side, much less rusted than the other side, so it shouldn't give me as many problems, and I should be able to take it off, but we'll see. This rotor looks pretty bad though. That's a later problem. All right, last thing I forgot to mention. Oh, I got some anti-seize on my forehead and my hands are filthy. But last thing I forgot to mention was that this application of what I did was for two-wheel drive 4Runners. So I know the wheel bearings that are given out for the all-wheel drive ones have the axle shaft going in between or through the center of it, but it doesn't work in my application because this is two-wheel drive. So I don't have to worry about that. And that's why it might look a little different from someone else's. So just keep that in mind. But now that we got everything back in place, wheel bearings should be good. And Then we can start working on everything else that this has. As you can see, there's quite a bit. But stay tuned for the journey, because it's gonna look completely different from what we have here. I'm just working piece by piece. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and get ready for what I have in store for this 4Runner build later on my channel. Peace.